We'd like to welcome everyone. So bonjour tout le monde. Good morning. My name is Darlene Boileau. I'm on the board of the National Association of Federal Retirees, Ottawa branch. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which the National Association of Federal Retirees office is located is traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. On behalf of the Ottawa branch, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's stress-reducing webinar to help you improve your mental health. Meg from AIM Fitness will be sharing anxiety-reducing tips that she shares with her clients, breathing techniques, and leading you through some gentle stretches and a guided meditation to help you feel more relaxed and stress-free as we head into this holiday season. Veuillez noter que le webinaire est présenté en anglais, mais la participation bilingue est toujours encouragée. I want to give a special welcome to anybody here who is not yet a member of the association. We hope these webinars will encourage you and inspire you to join us. And to our members, we hope that these webinars will encourage you to maintain your membership. I also want to remind our members that we have our annual Mega Recruitment Drive, which is underway until December 31st. We will be posting a link in the chat box, and we encourage you, if you wish to learn more, to please visit the National Association website by clicking the link in the chat box to get all the details about the lovely prizes, including $10,000 cash, courtesy of Johnson Insurance. There will be a question and answer period as part of this webinar, so please type your questions in the chat box throughout the session, and Meg will be able to respond to them as she proceeds in her presentation. Also, we are recording today's webinar, and after it is over, Erin Higgins from our Ottawa branch office, which I do want to send a shout out. We would not be able to do so many of these lovely sessions on a monthly basis without her participation and her support. And so, woohoo, Erin, a big shout out to you. And she will be sending you all the information on the Mega Recruitment Drive, as well as all the instructions on how to access this recording and any information that you need, even including information around giving the gift of membership. I thank you for joining us today and wish you a wonderful holiday season. I hope you all stay well and healthy. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Meg, who will close the session today. Enjoy.
December, and this month can be really busy, really hectic. So I hope you enjoy this topic. We're going to be talking about how to reduce stress, how to reduce anxiety, and I've got some really good tips for you as we go through the presentation. I'm just going to start sharing my screen. All right. So Erin, maybe you can let me know. Can you see me or no?
Yes, you're all set, Meg.
Okay, awesome. So thanks everyone. So today the topic is, are you feeling stressful or stress-free? Improving your health and reducing stress in only 10 minutes a day. All right, so let's dive right in. So first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story in case you haven't attended a webinar yet. If you have, I'm so glad to have you back. So I've been working with older adults since I was 12 years old. I started volunteering in a long-term care home with my best friend's mother, and her intention was to keep us 12-year-olds out of trouble. And what it's turned into is a lifelong passion working with older adults. I have a background in psychology and gerontology, and this week I actually had the opportunity to go back to university to speak with some first-year university students. So it was really fun going kind of full circle, going back there. And over the years, I've been helping adults 50 plus and seniors stay active at home. So in 2013, I started my business, AIM Fitness, as a personal training business. We started working with people in their homes. We would bring our fitness equipment to their apartments or to their houses and get people moving and encourage them to do gentle exercises. Now, over the years, it's been exciting because we've really transitioned online quite a bit, especially since COVID. So now, and maybe many of you are, but if you're not, be sure to join our Facebook group. We have an at-home fitness for adults 50+ group where I run challenges, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. We've got a new one for January. And I do, we do have an online membership as well, where you guys can save 33%, an exclusive partnership with NAFR. Now, we also have a free YouTube channel, and this is one of the videos that I've done for that. But we have over 300 videos on our YouTube channel. And really, my goal is to encourage people to move in a way that is not demanding, but in a way that feels good for you, so you can live your best life. All right, so let's dive into our topic, and I would love to hear from you guys. We're going to make this a really interactive session today. So what you can do is you can post in the chat what causes you to lose sleep. We know that there's many reasons that we can feel stressed out and we can toss and turn. Some of the reasons are finances. Actually, that's the top one, especially here in Ottawa. I did a bit of research. A lot of people are stressed about finances here compared to other provinces. The holidays, there we go. We don't need to say much more. The holidays can be stressful, whether that's with expectations or things that you feel like you need to do. Maybe it's relationships that are causing you stress. Maybe it's with family members. COVID-related fear or frustration. This is a really huge one too. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. An unknown future, that can be stressful, not knowing what's coming up. Maybe you're experiencing poor health, and maybe it's your children or your family who are stressing you out or causing you to worry about them in the middle of the night. So if you feel comfortable and you want to share, hey, this is what's on my mind these days, feel free to post that in the chat. All right, so I do have another interactive slide for you here, and I want you to tell me, what is stress? What do you think stress is? Is it A, it's when we feel under pressure? B, it's when we don't feel in control? C, it's when we are struggling to cope with things? Or D, it's all the above? All right, so again, cast your vote, share in the chat, let us know. What do you think it is? What is stress to you? A, B, C, or D? All right, give you a second to do that. All right, so let's tackle stress. What is stress? So stress is your mind and body's response or reaction to a real or imagined threat, event, or change. Now, something that I think is really key here that we don't always focus on is that it says real or imagined. And I think it's very important just to talk about this for a minute, because sometimes we think, oh, well, why is that person so stressed out about that? That could never happen, right? We're very quick to judge sometimes. And, you know, that's unrealistic. Why would they worry about that? However, studies show that even if a stressor or something never will happen, if you imagine that it can, it's just as real as something that is in your reality. So that is good for us to know that we can, and you probably have had this too, where you've had thoughts come up and you think, oh my goodness, wow, I'm worrying about this and it probably won't happen, but why am I thinking about this? So just know that you can feel very stressed even if something doesn't actually happen or isn't likely to happen. Now, the threat, event, or change, these things are commonly called stressors. So stressors can be internal. So oftentimes it's our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. So this is where maybe you're tossing and turning. Often we get in this loop of worry. Oh no, how am I going to do this tomorrow? How am I going to tackle this situation? Or wow, my health could become worse and worse. It's a lot of, often at times it's our thoughts. It can be our beliefs and attitudes too. And then external stress. So this is a lot of what we've experienced recently as a collective with COVID. we've experienced a lot of loss. We've experienced some tragedy and change. So whether you have lost somebody that you know, or maybe it's the change of lifestyle that you're no longer doing those things that you used to do. So that is considered stress, and it is an external example. All right, so again, if you want to share in the chat, which of these symptoms have you experienced? So this is how stress affects the body. Let's start with the top, the brain. So you can have difficulty concentrating, anxiety, depression, irritability, mood, and mind fog. So this is maybe where you're cooking and you totally forget about the main ingredient because you're just so distracted. Or maybe you find that you snap at your family members, even if they didn't do anything wrong. Skin, you may experience hair loss, dull, brittle nails, and hair, dry skin, acne, delayed tissue repair. So even if let's say you have a wound, it may take longer for it to heal if you're feeling stressed. Cardiovascular, so this includes higher cholesterol, high blood pressure, increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, interesting, I wear a device, kind of like a Fitbit, it's a Garmin watch. And the other day I had to deal with two things this week that caused me a lot of stress. My car decided that it was going to be leaking from the sunroof for a second time, even after the dealership fixed it first. And then I also have a computer that crashed last week and I lost everything. So I'm on a different laptop today, and I'm very grateful for the people who have been supporting me. But it was interesting because I was feeling so stressed and so frustrated, and my watch told me, it picked up on that because my blood pressure started to go really, really high. My pulse increased. And it told me, it said, you should probably take a stress break. Take some deep breaths. So I thought, oh, isn't this interesting? Even my watch can tell that I'm a little bit stressed right now. Maybe it was a little beyond a little bit, let's be honest. So these are all different symptoms. Now let's go to joints and muscles. Increased inflammation. So this could be that your arthritis flares up. It gets worse. Tension, aches and pains, muscle tightness. How about the gut? Our gut is connected to our brain. So what's affected is nutrient absorption, diarrhea, constipation, indigestion, bloating, pain, and discomfort. So anything in that area, this could be a result of stress. We'll keep going to the reproductive system, decreased hormone production, decrease in libido, increase in PMS symptoms, and then finally the immune system. And this is the decreased immune function, lowered immune defenses, increased risk of becoming ill, and increase in recovery time. And I'm sure you've experienced something where you are feeling overwhelmed, maybe you're just doing so much, and that's when you get sick. And this makes sense. If your immune system is really low, if it's fighting and having to work overdrive, then it's easier to catch those a common cold, or even a flu, because your defenses are much lower. So I think it's good for us to realize, because sometimes we have these issues, we think, well, what's wrong with me? I just need to, take an Advil, I need to smarten up. But it is important to know that if you're feeling stressed, this is what could happen. All right, and I think something really interesting here to think about is what you can control. So what is in your control and what is out of your control? So I believe that there's a lot out of our control. What happened last week, having my car, needing to be repaired again, having my computer completely crash, losing all my documents, that was completely out of my control. There was nothing I could do. But what was in my control and what I was really focusing on is just thinking, you know what, everything is going to work out for the best. I know that there's awesome people around me who are supporting me. And I really did feel that way. And I still feel that way. So I really think that even when things seem out of control, if you can think about what you're grateful for and just start to look for a few positive components, and just to see, hey, how can I survive this? How am I being supported? I find that's a really good question to really shift your attitude. All right, so here, this is interesting. This is from the Canadian Red Cross, and I think this is really good because these are some tips on how to cope with stress during the COVID-19 outbreak. And, these are still applicable as things are changing, things are constantly shifting. It seems every day there's different news out there. So the first one here is that it's normal to feel sad, stressed, confused, scared, and angry during a crisis. And we really encourage you to talk to somebody, talk to your friends, talk to your family, even if someone is out of town, give them a call, check in, make sure that people are doing well. And maybe it's, if you do live alone, I live alone, it's important to have your social circle. Who are those people that you touch base with every single day, who you can just send a message or an email or a text to and just say, hey, hope you have a good day. How are you feeling? The second tip here is just be aware that not everything you hear about the virus may be true. I'm sure you've heard this before. So you want to stay updated on the current information. But the third one that I really think is great is limit worry and agitation by lessening the time that you and your family spend watching or listening to media coverage that you perceive as upsetting. And this is something that, I had to make the decision. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling so stressed out. This was last year. I was feeling so stressed out just getting the news updates, hearing about this or that. And I said, you know what? I just can't. This is not going to help me by staying connected all the time. I really need to focus on what I can do for others. And I need to stay positive in order to do my fitness sessions with my clients and to be able to do these webinars. So really just tune in and ask yourself, when is it time to turn off the TV? When is it time to stop watching the news? Now, here's another one, is draw on skills that you've used in the past that have helped you to manage previous adversities. Use those skills to help you manage your emotions at this time. So in a few slides later, I'm going to be sharing some of those techniques with you, but just think, how have you survived things in the past? I'm sure, like, as human beings, we're so resilient. I'm sure you have a toolbox of ideas. And I would also love to hear from you guys, what do you do when you feel stressed? How do you deal with it? And I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat. So if you want to post that, please do, because it can help others. Now, the second one here, or the bottom one, if you must stay at home, maintain a healthy lifestyle. And this is what we're going to discuss today as well. So we want to think about proper diet, getting enough sleep, exercising, and social contact with family and friends. And then the last one is, deal with any emotions you may have in a healthy manner. So talking to a counselor, talking to a friend, having a plan, and really a big thing for me is, if you have a lot of junk food in your house, you're probably going to eat it. But if you don't buy it, it's going to be harder to eat poorly. So just watch what's in your house and what you choose to do. All right, so I would love to know from you guys, are you a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner? And this, you probably know, maybe as a kid, you were told one or the other, or maybe now or later in your career, you figured, oh, I'm really hands-on and kinesthetic. So I've got some really great tips next on ways that you can use your senses to relieve stress. So if you are a visual person that you really need to see things in front of you, or you have a big imagination, you tend to see things visually when people are talking, then you're going to want to use your sight in different ways to reduce stress. So on the next slide, I'll give you some tips. Auditory, maybe it's listening to some music, maybe it's listening to your breath, maybe it's listening to the sounds of nature. And then kinesthetic, hands-on, maybe you're wanting to touch something, so having a nice blanket wrapped around you, or if you're someone who likes to do crafts or knit, doing something with your hands, that can be helpful. All right, so here's some ideas, and if you are taking notes today and you say, oh yeah, I know I'm a visual or I'm an auditory learner, feel free to write a few of these, because we're all designed different and we all have different ways that we enjoy connecting with ourselves and we enjoy relaxing. So a question I like to ask are, what are you doing that helps you feel relaxed and safe? So let's go through these. So if you are that visual learner, the tips here are to read a good book, watch your favorite film, maybe that's a Christmas film right now, engage your visual senses in painting or photography, allow yourself to daydream for 10 minutes, use visualization techniques. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to walk you guys through a guided meditation, and that's going to be a lot of fun. You'll be able to use your visualization skills. Evoke good memories from looking at a memory or storyboard, or even going through some old pictures, photo albums. Now, so those are the tips for visual learners and visual individuals. Now, how about the scents? Burn some aromatherapy oils. Enjoy the aroma of scented candles. Do some baking. Enjoy outdoor smells from walks in the country. Now, near the sea, we don't really have the sea, but you could walk in the forest and notice the smell of the trees. Freshly brew some tea or coffee. All right, so really focus on what are the smells that you notice. Now, if you are kinesthetic, you can exercise, squeeze a stress ball, stroke a pet, wear soft, warm clothing, bake, play a musical instrument, have a massage, or do some yoga and Pilates. Now, I've worked with many people, and oftentimes what I say is, hey, if you feel stressed, get into the routine of moving your body. So whether it's doing some stretches, whether it's just a little bit more intense, like walking up and down stairs, but that can really help change things. All right, now how about our voice? What can you do with your voice? Sing, laugh, have a chat with someone who listens, chew a piece of sugarless gum, use some deep breathing techniques, eat some dark chocolate. We all want to hear this. Do some more deep breathing exercises and repeat affirmations out loud. All right, and then finally, auditory. Sit outside and enjoy the sounds. Now, with the snow, and maybe going for a walk and listening to the crunch of the snow under your feet. Listen to a favorite piece of music. Listen to some sounds. Even just go onto YouTube and you can Google relaxing sounds, relaxing music. Listen to a motivational recording, play a relaxation CD or music, and then listen to a radio program with your eyes closed. So here's some really good tips. Like I said, jot a few down, and it's always good, even if you're not feeling like you need to use them every day, it's good to have a few of these ideas in your toolbox. So on those days when you feel a little bit overwhelmed, you can say, all right, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to 10 minutes. I'm going to take 2 seconds to do this. All right, so next I'm going to be sharing 3 things that you can choose to do daily. You can choose to stretch your body regularly, focusing on being mindful and think positively. And earlier on in the other slides where we were talking about, what's in your control, what's out of your control, these are all things that are in your control. So again, this is great information for you. When we feel out of control, that's where things can get worse and worse. All right, so number 1 is to stretch your body daily. Now, at the end of our presentation today, I'm going to lead you through some really gentle stretches. Now, it takes about 21 to 30 days to build a new habit. So if you maybe have not been stretching your body or moving your body regularly, and you think, oh, this is something I want to start doing, just know it does take a little bit to get into that routine. Now, distraction prevents progress. So if you have your laptop open, if you have your cell phone buzzing, every notification is going off as you're trying to stretch, you're probably going to stop your stretching to check what's going on your devices. So something that I recommend is doing your stretching first thing. And don't even look at your phone, or don't even look at anything else until you focus on what you want to do. No distractions that way. And then focus on just one thing. This is really huge, and I share this with all of my clients because quite often we have really good intentions. We think, oh, I'm going to stretch every day for an hour in the morning. I'm going to go for a long walk. I'm going to start eating all organic foods. I'm going to, meditate every day. And you know what? It's just too much to do everything. So I encourage you instead to focus on one thing only, one thing at a time. And if you've attended a webinar before of mine, you've heard me talk about snacking on exercise. If you haven't heard, basically what it is it's all about starting with 10 minutes. Just like you'd go to the kitchen and have a snack, you want to move your body, you want to exercise for short little periods of time throughout the day. So it could be 10 minutes of stretches. And what I would encourage you to is to set your timer to just see how easy it is and how 10 minutes flies by really, really fast. Now, I've had a few people start with 10 minutes, and what they have said is, and Meg, 10 minutes is pretty good, and I've been doing this now for a few weeks. I think I'm ready to go for a little longer. Is that okay? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely. If you can lengthen the 10 minutes and then move it to 20 minutes, and then over time add another 10 for 30 minutes, you're going to really notice some changes. So here's some ideas to get you started. And these are all really gentle ways that will help you to reduce stress. So number one is to do some hand exercises while you watch TV. So making your hands as wide as you can, and then making a fist, wiggling your fingers, and even tapping your thumb to each finger one at a time. These are things that can help with arthritis and with mobility. And then they can also help if you just feel like, oh, I'm stressed, I need to do something. So moving your hands can do two good things at the same time. Number two is improve your balance by lifting your foot while brushing your teeth. This is a good challenge for you. Do 15 minutes of stretches every morning when you wake up. And I do really recommend, don't even look at your phone. Like I said, don't get distracted, because it's so easy to get into the rhythm of what you're used to doing. But if you're ready to make some changes and ready to start a new routine, it requires you doing things a bit differently. Number four, stretch your neck by looking up and down and side to side. This one is really simple to do, but it feels so good. Number five can help you to reduce the tension in our shoulders, because many people, I'd say most of us, carry a lot of stress and a lot of tension in our shoulders if we are overwhelmed or doing a lot. So think about doing some shoulder shrugs where you lift your shoulders up to your ears and then lower your shoulders down, and shoulder circles, circling your shoulders backwards first and then changing directions, and then doing one shoulder at a time. All right. And then number six is walk around the block every day. So it's really good to get some fresh air, and a good time to do it is when you check your mail. You can create a new habit just by getting out of the house, going around the block, and starting to notice maybe some of those things. If you are that auditory or visual person, you can notice, what do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see on your walk? So here's some stretching exercises that you can do either in bed, you can do on the floor if you're comfortable with that. But what I encourage you to do is to commit to stretching every day for 2 weeks. And this is a really good challenge. And if you're up for this challenge, even if it's 10 minutes, I would love to hear from you. I'd love you to post "I am in" the comment section below. And why is it easier to stretch every single day versus every 2 or every 3 days? Well, I can tell you. So if you stretch every day, it is easier. You're creating a routine. You're creating a habit, a healthy habit that's every single day. Now, if you do it every 2 days, it's easier to forget, because you know how fast the days fly by. You kind of think, oh, did I stretch today, or was it yesterday? And it's easier to miss a few days. And it's also harder to get back into it if you are, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you're already used to pushing it off, you just may keep pushing it off. So I encourage you to commit to every single day. You've got 10 minutes. I know you do. We all have the same amount of time in the day. I know you can fit it in. And then what's exciting is to notice how you feel how you feel the improvements. To notice mentally how you feel, physically how you feel. All right, so that was tip number 1, all about moving your body. Tip number 2 is to focus on being mindful. What is mindfulness? How can we be mindful? All right, so the definition of mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment by moment. This is John Kabat-Zinn who shares this definition. And I love this. I love this. It's about paying attention on purpose, being here in the moment. And I think quite often we spend a lot of our lives, a lot of our days thinking about the future, thinking about our to-do list, thinking about what's next or what we want, or worrying about what could happen, what could come. And mindfulness attitudes. So this includes patience, nurturing trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. So what occupies your attention? The present moment, zoning out, distractions and multitasking, thinking about the future, or thinking about the past. And this is where we can feel stressed out. This is where we can feel like we're not doing enough if we're really focusing on the future too much. So I am going to lead you through some mindfulness tips and a guided meditation a little bit later so we can practice this. All right, so here's my top 4 ways to practice mindfulness during the holidays. The number 1 is to take a mindfulness walk. Now, I started doing this at my old place where I used to live. I was there for about 2 years, and it was an amazing, amazing place to live because my home backed onto a beautiful forest. So I would leave my back door, I would be instantly in the forest. And what I started to do is I started to leave my phone at home. I was used to, taking my phone, always having it with me, but I left it at home. And what I would do is I would start to notice things around me. So when you're on a mindfulness walk, there's a few things you can pay attention to. You can pay attention to the birds. Often there's birds chirping. There may be cars that are driving by you. If you are in a neighborhood, you may hear the sound of your feet crunching the snow or sliding on the ice. You may notice the sound of your arms as they're moving and maybe hitting the side of your jacket. Maybe you're noticing the sound of your breath. If you're wearing a mask, you may really hear your breath even more. And really being mindful is about being so present and just thinking about what you're doing as you're walking. Now, as I do my mindfulness walks, often I like to bring gratitude in them too. So I'll think, wow, it's so nice to hear the birds. Oh, it's so beautiful to see the way that the sun hits the side of the trees. Oh, it's amazing to see the snow and how it's just so shiny and shimmery. So I really encourage you to try this, see how it goes. Now, number 2 is to pause to really listen. Now, this is when you're interacting maybe with yourself or with others. So for yourself, maybe you have a lot of things going on in your mind. It just feels like there's all of these voices and you feel like you can't have any peace. So what you want to do is you want to encourage yourself. Maybe it's just giving yourself a bit of a hug or just placing your hand on the side of your head, just in a really gentle way, and just to encourage you, hey, listen, just take a moment. What do I need? What do I need to do right now? Now, when it's interacting with others, pausing to really listen is a really powerful way of communicating, because so often we listen in order to respond. So if someone is telling us a story, we half listen, but we're already thinking about our response. Well, what's the story I'm going to share? How can I respond to this person? So try to really focus on being present, being mindful of fully listening without the urge to respond right away. Number 3 is to eat mindfully. And isn't this interesting? It takes about 20 minutes for your body to send you the I'm full cues. So if you are eating excessive amounts of food and maybe you're eating all of the Christmas goodies, there's so many snacks and good things at this time of year, And I'm not going to tell you not to eat any. That's not right. It's all about balance. But if you're eating really, really quickly, it's going to take a while for your body to actually tell you when you're full. So instead, I encourage you to chew maybe 25 times with every single bite. As you eat, notice what are the flavors that you can really sense. How does this food crunch? Is there a crunch to it? Is it soft? How does it feel in my mouth? And really think about even the movement of bringing your hand to your mouth as you're eating, really being mindful, really being present. And it really can change the way that you eat your food. Now, number 4 is as you bake and make cookies or whatever you're doing, just make the cookies. Sometimes, again, we're thinking about this and that, and we're thinking about the to-do list. And what you can do is you can say, all right, during this next task, whether it's cleaning, whether it's baking cookies, I'm just going to bake the cookies. I'm just going to stir the batter. I'm just going to be fully present. I'm just going to notice what I'm doing. So again, it's really about noticing. It's about being really present with what you're doing. And during the holidays when things can be busy, these tips can really help you to really just take a break from the busyness and the stress, and just be present, have that time with yourself. All right, so this really leads quite well into tip number 3, which is think positively. And I have some healthy mindset shifts to help you feel more relaxed. All right, so here are some tips for you. And I really like this quote from Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Isn't that powerful? Focusing your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So here's some ways that you can shift into positivity. And this first one is one I heard a few years ago at a fitness conference that I attended. And I've been using this with my clients, and it's been really helping them with things like weight loss and getting into a better fitness routine. So what you want to say is, I used to. So for example, I used to struggle with my weight. I used to go into Christmas and eat way too much food and feel guilty after. Or I used to put off my exercise routine until the end of the day, and then I would say it was too late and I never would get around to it. So what we want to do is we want to say, hey, this is what I used to do. This was my old habit. But in order to change this, in order to create new healthy habits, we need to use new language. And so you can use that. I used to do this, and then we want to add on, now I am choosing to fill in the blank. So if you do feel comfortable and you want to share, this could be helpful for others. So you can share with us a I used to statement, or jot this down. This is something for you to journal about or think about. And then you can think about, what's the now I'm choosing to part? What do I want to focus on during the holidays? And then what do I want to focus on in 2022? So for example, I have one client who she was really focusing on eating better and listening to her body. Now, when I started working with her in my weight loss course, she said, you know, Meg, I have a really bad habit. I go every single day to Baskin Robbins and I get my coffee, my latte, and I get a donut. She said, I looked it up. I know the donut is not healthy. I have it every single day and it's just my habit. I'm just used to doing it. So she used this technique, and what she said is, I used to go every day and buy my coffee and my donut, and I wouldn't feel good about myself when I did that. So that was her I used to statement. And then she said, now I am choosing to focus on healthier options. Now I am choosing to respect my body by not eating something when I don't really want it anyway. Now I am choosing to pause and ask, do I really want this right now? And interesting enough, it took her about 2 weeks to make the decision. You know what? I'm done with the donut. It's not really adding to my life. I don't really enjoy it anymore. I'm just doing it because of habit. And she cut it out completely. So she still does go every once in a while to go get her coffee, but she doesn't have that urge to have that donut anymore. And it was really cool how her being able to shift the way that she talked about this really, really helped. All right, so that's really great. I do encourage you write this down if you haven't, and if you're really struggling with creating new habits. This is so powerful. Number 2 is gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling. So I have a journal that I use. My mom bought it for me because she really loved it. And you can do this with just a blank journal, or you can buy one that's specifically for gratitude. So what this journal looks like that I have now, it says the day's date. Well, it has a blank. You put in the day's date, and then it has just three columns where you can write down what are the 3 things you're grateful for every single day. And it's something I love to do in the morning because it just really gets you into that right mindset. And it helps you really to appreciate the things that you do have, even if you are feeling like there's a lot going on and you're really feeling a little overwhelmed at the time. So that's gratitude journaling. I really encourage you to do that. And there's something very powerful about writing it down as well, not just thinking about it, but writing it down. Now, on that note, I know a family who do gratitude journaling in a different way. And this is something that if you're looking for a new way to incorporate this in the new year, you may love this. So what they did is they had a big jar that they put right on their table. And what they did is every single day, they had the whole family, they said, you know what, if something good happens, if you feel grateful at any time during the day, write it on a piece of paper and put it in this jar. And they called it the gratitude jar. And then what they did is at the end of the year, they would dump out every single piece of paper, and then they would take turns as a family reading out all of these notes about gratitude from the past year. And I thought this was so awesome, so I did it. So I did this for a few years, and since then I've been telling people about it. And I know there's many people who've now focused on having a gratitude jar, and you can open it up once a year, or if you want to open it up quarterly during the change of seasons, you can. But it's so encouraging to see, wow, look at all the good things that are in my life. All right, now number 3 is instead of checking your phone, take the first 5 minutes of your morning for 5 deep breaths and gratitude. So again, it's just getting into that habit of starting your day in a different way and noticing the results. Number 4 is to get outside for a walk in nature, which we've talked about. Number 5 is to acknowledge all the things that you're doing well. Now, I'm running an accountability group. It's called AIM Accountability, one of my newest programs. We're launching it again in January. But one thing that the group of women I'm working with, what they're struggling with, is they feel a lot of guilt for what they're not doing. And I'm sure if you're here watching right now, you can probably agree that, oh, it's so easy to feel guilty of not doing enough. And I really, really do encourage these ladies in my group to share with the group, hey, what did you do that you're proud of? What was that win of the week? What was that little decision that you chose? Because when we start to appreciate ourselves, when we acknowledge all the things that we're doing well, then it's easier to keep going, because instead of feeling guilty for what we don't do, you're focusing on, oh, well, you know, I did my 5 minutes of stretches today. That's great. I started that new habit. Let's keep that going. So really that's a huge shift that these women are really starting to step into, and it's been encouraging to see them sharing their wins in our group every single day. It's really, really awesome to see. All right, so how do you put the self-care plan into action? Now, just like when you were working and you had deadlines and you had meetings, I really encourage you to treat your health with the same level of importance. So what you want to do is pull out your phone, your agenda, your paper calendar, whatever you like to use, and put things in, start to write it in, and treat it as if it's a doctor's appointment. Because we know if you had a doctor's appointment with a specialist, you would not be rescheduling, would you? You would be committing to it. You would be deciding, hey, this is something I'm going to commit to. I don't want to miss this appointment. So you want to treat it the same. Now, very practically speaking, set an alarm. If you really struggle with remembering to stretch, set an alarm, have some kind of a reminder and schedule it in. And then something else too, it can be so powerful to do this with someone. So share this with a friend and say, hey, would you be my accountability buddy? If you are thinking, I really need a group, I really do need that accountability, then I'd love to tell you a little bit more about my accountability program that starts in January. It's an 8-week program, and it's so powerful because you have myself, but you have other people just like you who are there to encourage you and to keep you going with whatever goals you have. And then finally, commit to it. Just say, that's it, I am doing it. Now, quite often I see people who say, you know what, I've tried other things for so long, I've tried it on my own, it's just not working. I'm really ready to focus on me once and for all. So sometimes it does take you to, you're kind of in that place of maybe you have a health scare, that's why you decide you need to make changes. But I do encourage you, regardless of where you are, if you are feeling like you want to do something in order to prevent your health from getting worse, and you're just ready, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then I do encourage you just to get started, just to commit to it right away. All right, I love this picture, isn't this cute? I own a dog, so I'm very partial to these doggies. Celebrate the small and big wins that you experience. So something that may be really small to you, that's maybe it's like, oh, I woke up 15 minutes early and I decided to start my day in silence. Or, it's cold today, but I went outside anyways with my walking stick, and I feel really good just getting some fresh air. So celebrate it. Celebrate the small and big wins. Alrighty, so we're going to shift over to meditation and our guided meditation in just a minute. And I want to share really quickly some of the benefits of meditation. So meditation can bring harmony to your life, it can improve your focus and memory, it balances emotions, increases immunity, reduces stress and depression, regulates heart rate, increases happiness, and increases energy. All right, so I'm going to lead us through a 5-minute guided meditation. And I chose this picture because I thought, oh, this is so peaceful. Isn't this amazing? You can just imagine being at a cottage, being out kind of in the middle of nowhere and just sitting back and noticing and feeling the warmth of the sun. We really need that at this time of year. All right, so we're going to move right into this. And then from this, I'll stop my screen share and we will be doing a few gentle stretches as well. All right. So I encourage you to just close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or just look down towards the floor. And I encourage you to really just let anything go that you're holding on to right now. And as you let go, just think about breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. And breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe in and out, as you continue to do this, just imagine breathing in peace, breathing in relaxation, and then breathing out calm. And as you breathe out, just imagine your body sinking a little bit deeper into your chair. All right, so keep going, breathing in and out. Good. Now, I just want to invite you to picture a place that you enjoy going to, that brings you peace. Maybe it is this picture, maybe you can imagine yourself here by the lake, maybe it's somewhere by the sea, in the forest, a familiar place or somewhere new. As you continue to breathe, I just want you to imagine, what are all of those, what are those sounds that you may hear? So if you are outside in this place, maybe it's the sound of some birds chirping. Maybe it's the sound of the rustle of leaves or waves hitting the shore. So continue your deep breathing and just in your mind's eye, just imagine what are the sounds that you would hear and how does that make you feel? And as we continue to breathe deeply, next I encourage you, how does it feel to be there? What are some of the emotions that you feel? Do you feel calm? Do you feel peaceful? Do you feel your shoulders relaxing physically? Do you feel your breathing slowing a little bit as you really relax? Do you feel the floor under your feet, the seat underneath you? Just tune in. How do you feel? And then finally, what do you see? What do you notice as you imagine being in this place of peace? Are there other people with you? Is it sunny? What's the scene that you see in front of you? Just imagine what you see. All right, so I encourage you to take 3 more deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you visualize this place with me, I invite you to tune in. How are you feeling now? Do you notice a difference? Do you feel a little bit more relaxed? Do you feel at peace? All right, 1 more deep breath in and out. Good, and you can choose to either give yourself a bit of a hug, pat yourself on the back, or just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes to bring yourself back here to the present moment. All right, wonderful job, everybody. All right. Okay, so I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling really good. I feel very relaxed. Now we have a few minutes left, so I am going to be doing a few stretches. Here we go, you should see me again. We're going to do a few seated stretches just to fully relax even more. So I encourage you to sit on the edge of your chair, give yourself a little bit of space, and we're going to start by simply circling those shoulders backwards. All right, now if you are feeling really good and you just want to stay in that same space, you can close your eyes if you want. Keep your eyes closed. I'll walk you through a few gentle stretches before we finish up. All right, now let's change directions. We'll circle those shoulders the other way. Breathing in and out. Good. Now I find I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you're feeling really relaxed, really good. But I think sometimes the hardest part is just to get started, just to press play on the guided meditation, or just to press, pause on your day. But once you do, you feel really good. All right, good. Now from here, we're going to be reaching your arm up and over your head. Now, if you do have shoulder issues, you can also choose to lean a little bit to the side. But see about reaching your arm up and over. You may want to take your legs a little bit wider for this so that you can lean a little bit further. And breathing in and out. And notice that stretch down the side of your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And so these are a few stretches that you can choose to do right on the edge of your bed, first thing in the morning, just to stretch everything out. Good. All right. From here, we're going to look side to side and then up and down. Good. All right. And again, side to side, up and down. And one more time, side to side, up and down. All right, and then the last one we'll bring our hands together and we're going to be doing a twist. So this is why it's important to have lots of space behind your back. And bring those hands to the side, and you can even look over your shoulder as well. Breathing in, breathing out. As you go one way, breathe in through your nose. Other way, breathe out. One more time. All right, awesome. Great. Now we just have a few more minutes left. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I do have a few resources for you all. I'm just going to type them here right in the chat and tell you a little bit about them. And you'll see a bit more on the next slides that I'm sharing. But I just shared a sign up. I'm doing a 5-day fitness challenge, and I also have a free motivation quiz. And as we're finishing off, if anyone does have any questions about our session today, feel free to put them in the chat, and then in a few minutes I will have a look. All right. Okay, so as we finish up, next steps, what is your plan to put yourself first this winter? So if you would love to stay connected, I would love to really help you in your fitness and health journey. So as I mentioned, right in the chat, there's a link where you can sign up. Now, this is our second year of doing a New Year's challenge. The dates are January 17th to the 21st. Now, every day at 9 a.m., I'm going to be going live in my private Facebook group. So if you sign up in the link, I'll be inviting you to that private Facebook group. But if you're not on Facebook, that's okay, because every day I'll be emailing out the replay of the 15-minute workout along with some fitness tips. So it's going to be a really great session, really good if you're thinking about getting back into the fitness and health goals that you have for yourself in 2022. Now, if you have not taken my motivation quiz, I wanted to share this slide because I come up with this quiz back in the summer, and I believe that there's 4 different types of people who are motivated in different ways. Now, it seems like the majority of people who I work with right now are the self-motivators. I'm going to tell you about the self-motivator. Let me know if this is you. Now, self-motivators are motivated from within. Being able to see the worth of what they do keeps them motivated and focused on their goals. If you are a self-motivator, then start journaling and reflect on why better health is important to you. As long as you stay true to yourself, anything is possible. And remember, that consistency is the key. Now, if you don't really resonate with this, you may be a scheduler, inspired action taker, or a rewarder. So be sure to take the quiz. It's 7 questions. It's really fun, and you're going to get some really good insight about yourself. And then, as usual, I really want to share that I do have my amazing online fitness membership. I recognize some of the attendees today. You guys are already members, but for those of you who are thinking about really prioritizing your health during the holidays, or maybe you want to get started in the new year, you can join as a member and get special discount with 33% off with this coupon code. So Erin is going to send out an email with the link so you can get connected and be part of our community. Now, in our community, I have over 100 exercise and nutrition videos that you can do right at home, and a nice combination of stretches and restorative exercises like we did today, even some guided meditations, along with some more intense exercises to help you with your weight loss goals and to help you build muscle and bone strength. Now, if you'd like to chat, maybe you remember me talking about my new program. Now, I have 2 new programs, one for weight loss, one for accountability, and then we also do offer one-on-one personal training. If you'd like to hear about any of these, or you want to hear a little bit more about the membership, then feel free to book a call. I'd love to chat with you. I've got my calendar link available right on my website, and would love to hear a little bit more about your health goals and how we can help you. All right, so thanks everyone for participating today. I'm just going to flip over to the chat now to see if there's any questions or any comments. But I hope you feel relaxed. I hope you feel well rested, and I hope you feel motivated as well.